Racist cops tied a black man to a pole for fun, not knowing he was their new police chief. Wait a second. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more powerful and inspiring stories just like this one. He was walking through the neighborhood he had sworn to protect, yet they saw only his skin. Four officers laughed as they shoved him against a pole, zip-tied his wrists, and took photos like it was some joke. They never asked his name. They didn't know who he was. But they were about to find out, because the man they mocked, humiliated, and tied up in public wasn't just another nobody. He was the newly appointed police chief, and the next morning, they'd be standing at attention in his office. Watch till the end. Darius Caldwell had just relocated to a quiet suburban town, population mostly white, with a reputation for keeping things old school. At 45, he had just been appointed as the new police chief, one of the first black men ever to hold the position in the region. With over 2 decades of decorated service behind him, he didn't expect a red carpet, but he also didn't expect what came next. He chose to arrive a few days early, anonymously, to get a feel for the town before his swearing in. No uniform, no motorcade, just him, walking through the streets, observing. He wanted to see the community for what it was, but even as he kept his head down, his presence stood out. And when he walked past a patrol car idling by a local diner, he noticed the way the officers stared. The town's true face was about to show, and it wasn't welcoming. It started with a voice from behind. "Hey, where are you headed, buddy?" Darius turned to see 4 uniformed officers approaching. No introduction, no reason, just that tone, mocking, assuming. He calmly replied that he was walking, but they didn't care. "You fit a description," one said with a smirk. They told him to put his hands up. He didn't resist. He knew how quickly these moments turned deadly. Still, they pushed him roughly against a streetlight pole, zip-tied his hands behind his back, and started laughing. One of them even pulled out a phone to take pictures. "Bet the chief would love to see this one joked, snapping a photo. "Looking real suspicious out here, huh?" another added, nudging his baton against Darius's ribs. Darius stayed silent. They never ran his ID, never called it in, never gave him a chance to speak. Eventually, they let him go, warning him to watch himself in this town. As he walked away, wrist sore and dignity bruised, he didn't feel anger, just a deep, cold silence inside. These were the men he'd be leading in just a few hours, and they had no idea. That night, he reviewed their names from his new files. Every face matched, every badge number. He didn't have to wonder what kind of culture this department had. He'd lived it. But the next morning, everything would change, because the man they humiliated was about to take control. Morning came. The conference room filled with chatter as officers gathered for the formal introduction of the new chief. The same 4 men from the night before leaned against the back wall, laughing. Then the mayor stepped forward and cleared his throat. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our new chief of police, Mr. Darius Caldwell." Silence. Darius walked in, full uniform, polished badge. Every eye widened, but none wider than the 4 officers who had tied him to that pole. Their faces drained of color. One shifted uncomfortably. Another looked away. Darius walked straight to the podium, placed the photos they had taken on the table, and said, "I believe we have a lot of work to do." No yelling, no theatrics, just truth and power. And in that moment, the entire department realized exactly who they were dealing with. Those 4 officers were immediately placed under internal review, later dismissed for misconduct and abuse of authority. But Darius's impact went beyond punishment. He reshaped the entire department, introducing training, accountability, and community engagement that had never existed before. He didn't just become the police chief, he became the symbol of change the town never saw coming. But the question still lingers. How many other leaders are being ignored, mistreated, or abused simply because of the color of their skin? And how many more communities will wait until the humiliation becomes personal before they finally act? Darius never wanted revenge. He wanted respect. And in the end, he earned it, not by shouting, but by showing them exactly who he was. Which country and city are you watching from? Comment below and be part of the conversation. Take care.